Hello everyone, my name is Cindy and this is Shira, and we are here representing the Ministry of Health Lifestyle Center in Nebraska, and we're also here to represent Elijah 3.0 Media. And we really want to demonstrate to you how you can have better health. Today I'd like to demonstrate a hot and cold fomentation treatment that people can do in their very own homes. And what it is good for is it will help to relieve pain quite quickly. And it is a very cleansing treatment because, as you'll see in a few moments, we're going to put hot on a specific area and then cold right after that. And what happens is the hot pulls the blood into that area, is very cleansing. And then when we put the cold on, it pushes the blood back out. And it's a very cleansing treatment for whatever area of the body you need to work on. So we can stimulate the kidneys to work better, the liver, the spleen, the lungs, all parts of the body. And it also causes the person to relax. It also draws in nutrients by way of the blood, and it helps to heal the injured area. So it really aids the body in the healing process. So without any further delay, we'd like to get started. So I'm going to have Shira lie down on underneath this right here, because we want to cover you up. And today we're pretending that Shira has pneumonia. She came down with a pneumonia. She's been coughing a lot. She hasn't felt good. She even had a slight fever. So what I'm going to do is do a fomentation. By the way, I always have a little pail of ice water right here with a towel in it right beside the area where we're going to be working. And then I'm going to, usually you want to get down to the person where, usually at the Ministry of Health, we have women working on women, men working on men, and, her whole top area would be uncovered. I would cover her with this towel, and this is 2 layers. So we have 2 layers right here, and I'm going to put one more layer on. So I'm going to open this towel up completely, and then there's a little towel down here. But what we're going to do, when we do the fomentation, we want to use not a real thick towel like this, but we want to use like a lighter weight towel. And it depends on the area that you're doing. For instance, you can do from head to toe hot and cold treatments on a person. You can do an ankle, a knee, a hip. Say the person has a cyst in the liver, you can do a hot and cold in that area, and so forth and so on. So what we're going to do right now is how we heat the towels is we have 2 towels, and you can use a microwave at your house as long as it's in a different room. We dampen the towel and then we put it in a plastic bag. We wrap it up and it keeps it really moist. We put it on for about 10 minutes in the microwave. Now, if you're like us and you'd rather have a steamer, you can put the towel in the steamer, and that way you're not using a microwave. But sometimes we just have to use what we have on hand. And so you would put both the towels in there, and then when it's time, you would bring out a towel, and it's going to be very hot. And so, Shira, I'll have you put your hands down by your sides. Are they? There we go, because we don't want to burn you at all. You open up the towel and you lay it very carefully because you don't want to burn the chin area either. And you want to cover the whole lung area, and then you want to cover it with another covering to hold the heat in. Just like that. There we go. The towel on top holds the heat in the area, and it only takes a few minutes with such a hot towel that the person will suddenly start feeling the warmth of it. It feels so good. It relaxes. The pain starts going. And then you have to even ask, how's the heat? You know, because if it's starting to burn in any area, you want to take this off, shake your towel out a little bit, put it back on, and make sure it's nice and comfortable. Now, we don't want them not to feel the heat, but it shouldn't burn in any area. So we leave that on for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, that warms up the area so well. When they're finished with this treatment, whatever area you're working on has like a pink tint to it. It's nice and red, and you can tell that the treatment was really working well. But it should always feel real comfortable. They shouldn't be fidgeting underneath and feeling like it's hot. So then after 5 minutes, you take off your hot towel. You pull all this off the gas. So usually I have my cold towel ready. You know, I've wrung it out. It's ice cold. And then I go ahead and pull this off, and I lay this directly on the skin, because you want it to be ice cold. The ice cold is really going to push the blood that we've just brought into the area out, and it does it pretty quickly. So then this cold only takes 1 minute. The ice cold is on the area for just 1 minute. And so by the time you go and take your towel and put it in the microwave, and you bring your other hot towel that's already warmed in there, you need to turn your microwave on again, because otherwise the next one won't be as warm. You want them to be very warm. So then you come back and you go ahead and take the cold off. Cover her up again. Put our next hot on the top. And make sure you hold the heat in. So then we do this 4 times. Sometimes the guest really is relaxed, or if it's your child that you're working on, they feel so good doing it, you can do it another time. We do hot and cold 4 times. And if someone would like one more, they're resting so well, you can do one more. It's not going to hurt anything. But one thing to remember is that you always end with cold, because that closes the pores, and then they can dry up a little bit. You know, it's good to do it at night before bed. And then they can dry up, put their pajamas on or whatever, and they're ready to sleep. It's such a relaxing treatment. It works very well. And like I say, you can do it on any part of the body. Now, if a person like Shira had pneumonia, I would do this treatment 2 times a day. I would do the front of the lungs, because we have lungs in the front and the back. You're going to do the front of the lungs first, say at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then at night before bed, you would have her turn over on her stomach and do the posterior part of the lungs on the back, because you want to, you know, do both sides. And it won't take long with the proper herbs and things like that to get completely over the pneumonia. I just wanted to once again mention about the wonderful benefits of this treatment. It's amazing, and you know, when a person first has the treatment, they notice it right away. They feel the relaxation of it, the blood stimulation and the relaxation. It works wonders for so many things. And if a person has a pulled muscle, sometimes the doctor will recommend for the first 48 hours when there's been an injury to put ice on it. And that is really good, to ice it up really good for that 48 hours because that area, it has inflammation. But after that 48 hours, you can do a hot and cold treatment on it. Say you've injured your shoulder, you put ice on it for a while, it's feeling better, it's not so swollen. You can do a hot and cold treatment. And what it does is it brings the blood into the area, stimulates circulation, and especially if we're on a really clean diet, it brings very important nutrients in the area so that it will heal more quickly. But the hot first, and then the cold for 1 minute, hot and cold 4 times. It's so good for pain relief. It cleanses the area. It loosens up tightened muscles. It stimulates organs that no longer work properly. A lot of people have problems, say with a fatty liver, and their livers are not working right. And hot and cold fomentations 2 times a day will start stimulating the liver to work properly. Of course, then there are special herbs that you should take specifically for the liver. But it's the same thing when someone and so many people today, they have built so many of those kidney dialysis units. And the very young and older people are on kidney dialysis. And if a person could catch someone before they go on that, we could stimulate the kidneys to start working properly with the hot and cold fomentations and the proper herbs. But even if they are on kidney dialysis, there are some good things that they can do to reverse everything. But it takes diligence, and it takes working on it really, really well every single day, faithfully, and the kidneys will rejuvenate themselves. And at the same time, the hot and cold draws nutrients into the area and aids the body in the healing process. So God is good. He's given us so much to use for natural healing.